Brisbane Yamaha knows boats.
Hi, I'm Aaron, the owner of Brisbane Yamaha. And so, you've worked hard. You've done all right for yourself. You've had a heap of boats. You're an offshore fisherman. You want the top of the tree. Well, what you should look at is one of these. Because Evolution, huge name, famous for its ride. And today, I'm going to show you why they're famous and why an Evolution should be on your list if you want to buy the best offshore boat available in Australia. 600. Have a look at it. 6 metre boat. Wow. Well, we'll measure it in a minute because what we have is we have John, the owner. Yeah, I'm going to take it easy on his boat. He's come with me, right? John's a farmer. He's got an engineering business. He's worked hard. He's had lots of boats. Came in the yard. He's done a lot of research. He's chosen Evolution. Now let's have a look. Now for one, you saw me on top on that hard top. Solid glass windows, reinforced. It's rated to 200 kilo. Why would you rate the top of a boat, the hard top, for 200 kilo? So you can get up there, so you can look for tuna squalls, so kids can get up there, jump off into the water, have fun. So you can put something up there. There's anti-slip up there. It's made for it. Now let's start at the front and have a look at this. We put them on Dumbia trailers because this is, the best. This is the top of the tree. So we search and we find the best we can. Now, 6 metres on an Evolution. And when we measure it, you're going to find it's a lot bigger than 6 metres. But Evolution, because they're hand built, bespoke, right? They're hand laid. What's that mean? So when these are made, they don't use a chopper gun and just willy-nilly. They lay sheets in by actual woving, strengthenings, and they roll it all by hand. Not spraying it in, roll it. A lot harder to do, a lot more time consuming, but you'll get a much more regular, a much more concise layers of fiberglass. Everything is looked at. Now, so we've got the anchor winch on here with the Saka anchor. Now, this thing's coming at 3.5 tonne. It's a big boat. And the reason why it's so heavy as a 6 metre boat, the hull is 1.4 tonne. 1.4 tonne. That's probably 400 kilos heavier than anything else in the market. Why? Well, one, the hull is foam filled. It's foam filled with a special foam called GP2, and what GP2 does, it's the same as what you use for survey boats. And this actually happened. Man was out there, he hit a container. He punctured the hull. Do you know he fished for another 2 hours, got into the ramp, didn't even know that his boat had been punctured. Why? Because that foam doesn't rupture. So it punched a hole through the hull and the foam is just waterproof. It's small in there. There's these little tiny holes. It is the highest quality. Now you check when you buy a boat, what kind of foam they use. Some of the dodgy, pool noodles, they've got these square blocks of foam like polystyrene. This stuff, unbelievable. Now, let's have a look down the side. Come and have a look under that hull because it's got massive chines that squirt the water out behind the fishing area. Everything on this boat has been made for hardcore fishing. Now, this isn't going to be the fastest boat you've ever been in, but what it's going to be is hardcore, off there, confidence building, go anywhere, doesn't matter what happens with the weather. The Evolution's great. Now, come and have a look at here. Real walk around. Rails, solid rails, anti-slip everywhere, good quality hatches, midway cleat. Now that's awesome because you could tie off there, put your hand out of the window, undo a knot, slip it off the pylons, drive off yourself. Wonderful. Marlin door. Ideal for getting in and out, loading your stuff. You know, people say, oh, you get your fish, you do everything. Just by putting eskies in, this is so much easier. Awesome. Now, have a look in there at that floor because this is one of the only 6 metre boats out there that is true self-draining deck. Now they raise the deck by 200 mil and there's a 20 mil angle on it. So when you wash your boat or you're in the water, you're out there tuna fishing, squid fishing, and there's just filth all over your floor, you just hose it down, it all runs out, goes out through the scuppers. That's quite unique. Now, come back here, scuppers here. We can see back here at the hull, planing hull, solid. It's got, you know, ladders and trim tabs hidden away out of the way. Beautiful looking, hardcore rear vents. And we'll go inside, we'll look at the live bait tanks, we'll look at all those things, the quality of it. Now, it's got the new 250 Yamaha. Dan will put the specs up. The thing about this 250 is it's got electric steering. So what we've done, John's elected to having the electric steering with the autopilot that runs through his big Garmin sounder. What does that mean? In the old days with autopilot, it was all run by hydraulics and there's sort of a delay and you spend your life zigzagging out somewhere. It drives you insane, and everyone with autopilot knows what I'm talking about. Because electric, vroom, 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 it's faster, it's direct. It is a game changer, and go out there and have a look at Hellmaster. John might one day put the joystick on for the Hellmaster. Just a plug-in, right? Just a plug-in, goes in, and that will give him fish lock and stop and all those other applications. Now this, have a look at it. Just like everything with Yamaha, it's a thing of a beauty. It's purpose built. It didn't come off any other product, you know. And I say things that it is. If you're looking at something like a Mercury are a sports equipment company. They used to make bowling, indoor bowling, right? Yamaha is a foundry, they're famous. They purpose build things. That's why they're just the best. They just are. Ask someone with the Yamaha, oh yeah, it just works. And what we're gonna do is just a quick measurement. We'll get you on the water. So stay with me, you lot. Here, John, you've got better, I'm useless with it. Now where we're gonna come to, come to the transom. So yeah, just about here, cut a little bit of that duckboard off and just to the end of the transom, because this is how other people would measure their boat. Go back to that end, Dan. There it is to the bowsprit. What are we, John? 6'6". 6'6". Now let it in. Now I'll show you, walk over the other side there, John. You've got to know how these YouTubes go, you know. You might be the boss everywhere you go, but not at the moment. Now to the outside, to the chine, because what this is the water level. This is the water displacement and how much boat, pull it a bit tighter, just to the outside. What do you got there, John? 2,450. You're a 6 metre boat and at the water line, you're nearly full. Wait on, John, you haven't finished yet. I'll get you on that side. Oh, you take that and pass it over. And, oh, I've got it swapped. Come back here and have a look at the back here, to the top of the gunnel. Right, they'll think that I'm doing something dodgy here now because I'm hopeless at reading tape measures because I haven't got my glasses. 2,340. Do you know something? It's actually bigger at the bottom than the top. Now, all right, now come with me, Dan. So it's full length in the water. You're getting a lot more boat. That's normally what you'd get with a boat 26 foot. Now, freeboard, perfect. 740, right there. Internal, 2 metres. Just believe me, it's 2 metres. Back to here, back to that seat, 1.8. 6 metre boat. It has got a massive amount of cockpit room. Now you've got this beautiful seat that I'm going to take out, and all you do is unhook that latch. I'm going to put it across. That's made out of fiberglass. That's not a bit of wood, that's not a bit of garbage, shies in the house, and that is a quality piece of gear. I'd float around on that. Here, Christopher. I've actually bought Christopher. Christopher runs the workshop. He's the responsible for all that famous work we do. Now, at the back here, obviously you can get your feet under. Hardcore fishing, great looking bait board, cutting, storage underneath, whether you want to put your bait in there or sinkers or hooks, solid fiberglass. Doors, batteries, everything easy to get to, all wired up beautiful. Storage under, 2 live bait tanks. And have a look inside those live bait tanks, because I'm telling you, they're big enough, you'd get a lot of fish in there. Any slimy, any mullet, gonna swim around there beautifully, all rounded off. Under here, under the floor storage. Have a look at the size of that. Now, as I mentioned, everything in this is built with a 20mm slope. So you pour something here, you got blood there, it's running out, and it'll run into these scuppers and straight out. Deck wash, squirt it off. Have a look, you've got 120 litre storage between the seats. Now, all this stuff, you know that when you boat, there's never enough storage. We all take too much tackle, we all take too much food and things. Now, I'm telling you, I'm going to upgrade my ham and pickle sandwiches. I'm going off the bone when I own one of these. Now, let's have a look at this. The ergonomics, quality seats. Quality seats, huge amounts of room. There's enough room for the biggest electronics you can get. You can actually get a 16 and a 12 in here into the dash. In stores to hold stuff. Big areas to put your gear. You know, there's a bit of room there so you can put in a little glove box, put your phone, put some things. You know, it takes 6 people. Rated to a 250 maximum. You've got Yamaha gauges. You've got a great big Lawrence sounder that talks with the helm master. So everything's going to come up here for your autopilot. Trim tabs. Yamaha gauge to tell you how much fuel you're not using. Big storage there that are real. You can put a hell of a lot in there. That's a lot more than most boats. So you've got a really big working area, and your mates are going to be so happy sitting here. You know, you've got your third mate. He's come along, he's giving you no money for fuel. Well, he's sitting here and he's feeling comfortable, let alone that great big seat that you've got along the back. Right, have a look, even in there, look at the storage and how this is all made. All hand laid, solid, you know, solid stainless steel, rod holders. And this T-top, this hard top, I tell you, you're hanging on here, no one's feeling easy to get to your gear. Inside there, you can have a toilet, you've got bunks. There's a mirror looking back, which is also always awesome because you look down and it comes back, it really shines up. Go in that bunks and have a look there, Dan, have a look around. More storage again underneath the seats. It's fiberglass, it's custom made, it's screwed in there. Look at that, that seat's never coming out. That floor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tackle boxes there. That's lockable. So when you go to a tournament, you can lock it up and they won't see it. You know, you've got 5 tackle boxes. You're probably about 5 short on what I'd take. Up on the T-top, enough room, stereos, radios, access, lights out the back, lights in here, more storage coming across, 2 sliding windows, right? Most boats only have 1. Now we're in Queensland, and I feel sorry for everyone that doesn't live in Queensland, because you can open this up. Now a lot of hard tops have a little epoxy vent that gets you wet. This one for opening up, getting breeze through. Solid glass, reinforced. I think I've said enough. What we're going to do, Christopher and John and Dan and I, we're going on the water. We're going to do some drone footage. Stay tuned. This is going to be epic. Okay, here we are. We're in Moreton Bay. We're in the 600 tournament, Evolution. There's not another car or boat in the car park because it's blowing 20. It's a nasty little chop. And all you people have been waiting for a bit of blue sky, because drones don't work in the rain. This boat is something you need to look at. What we've got is we've got this 6-metre boat, which feels more like an 8-metre boat in the water. Now, I've got a 250 on it. We've only got 60 litres of fuel in it. It's got that hand-laid hull, foam filled. The only thing under the deck is a little space for water to run out of these front eskies and out of this front cabin, and the fuel tank, which is 300 litres. So I'll motor off and we'll just see. I've got this steering wheel and I realised it's adjustable, and I've taken it up a bit. So at the moment, I'm at 3.8. Oh, this thing's going to be fast. We're doing 29. And what I'm going to do is just feel this boat, and I'm not committing to anything at the moment. I'm just getting along, and I tell you, it's pretty soft. Into this chop. Now it's going to bang and it's going to go in because this nasty little chop is sharp. But what we're going to do in a moment, I'm going to say, John, you just hold on a sec, and let's just see when we get on top. We've got the Yamaha 250. I've got it trimmed down. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to look for a wave coming up, move faster, and maybe this one. And I'm just going to feed a little bit of juice on it, get on top, back off a little bit, and I'm going to scoot over that chop. Now let's say, I always say I'm running home to Granny, because my grandmother makes the best roast lamb, roast pork you could ever have. John's holding on, and at this stage, he's going, how come I ever come out here with you, Aaron? Well, we got to look at his boat, and if he wasn't here, I would be doing it too, right? So it'll get on top, and you'll stand up on that weather. We're doing 47 kilometres an hour. We're at 4,000. And right now, I've sort of got it sorted, and John's probably just realised that everything's all right, and his boat is way more capable than what he thinks. So John's hooked up to a billy. He's reversing into it. I'll trim it up a little bit, and we'll see what happens across this wave. You expect a little water, but that huge transom there is going to stop most things. And I can tell you, a lot of boats wouldn't handle this. If you go and have a look at the one I did on a bar crusher, it would have sunk by now. Oh, then the fish has gone forward. It snuck out to the front. You know what I'm talking about when them sneaky billies do that. They get to the front, you have to slip it around, get the angler onto the other side. Very manoeuvrable. Very, very manoeuvrable and easy to handle in this little chop. Let's have a look. Now other boats, we're going across some waves. I'm just going to come out here, give it a little bit. Now you just hold on, John, because I've got no insurance. I do actually, but I just like to tell people that. Into some wave, we're moving across. We're off to another fishing spot. We've seen some people, and off we go. Beautiful. All right, now I'm going to stop. Bam! Spits it out. Did everyone, hopefully you saw that drone footage, and I'll do it again, because what I want you to see is the way this boat squirts that water out back. It's not coming up over the front, it's coming right out over the back. So we'll go up, I'll get over a wave. Oh, it's eating all that, isn't it? And I'll back off. See that? Did you see that wave squirt out? That's that hull, those great big chines. Now, Dan, you still got us. Now, I've turned it off. There's nothing around us. Let's have a look at the stability out here. Come over here. We've got Porky Pig here with me. We've got 4 on the side. We're looking at fish. There's no issue. I'm over this side, and I suppose when you look at it, I'm 110, 20, he'd be the same. John's carrying not as much. Dan, little Buddha, who knows? There's 400 kilos of man candy over there on one boat. Try that in your 6-metre boat and see what normally happens. Over here, the door, nothing's come through on the door. It's really good fishing position back here if you're bottom donger, if you had some outriggers off the side, you were chasing something. So, what I've got to tell you with this 600, those self-draining deck, we've had a bit of water in the back, work beautifully. Best I've ever seen in a 6 metre boat. Now let's have a look at that follow and see. And I know you're looking at this little chop, but all you people, this isn't like a little Port Phillip Bay chop. And I haven't even played with trim tabs. Let's have a look. Over that wave, drop, oh gee. "46 k's an hour, 4,300. Right, you have to hold on because that wave will stop you into the back of it, but over it. And what I've got to say, now John, you hold on, because what I'm going to do is just turn a little bit on that wave just to see if this thing will broach, breach, whatever you want to say. Let's have a look down here, Dan. Go down and look down here. Now what you'll see about this evolution is it squirts the water out very far back in the hull. And what that means is you're going to be dry. Where Dan and I are in the back and we are dry, there is waves going, John's driving, and we're standing here and I'm not popping it. That is boating design. That's not by accident, that's what you get with evolution. So turn it down, not going to be crazy with it, but I tell you, if you were out here and you were doing 38, 40 Ks in your boat, I bet you wouldn't be. You wouldn't be sitting down. John's knuckles aren't white. Look at that. Look at that. Into it. Sprays it out. Nothing on the windscreen. You try that. It squirts it outside. Those chines, those massive chines that Junger's built into this boat, years of research, are really working beautifully. Now I'm going to slow up here. Oh, the drone's out the front getting some beautiful footage there. Look at that. You know, I've moved up to the off-the-bone ham and pickle, custom pickle. I'll probably go back to my old favourites of the white bread because that's what I like. But this boat, I tell you, it's top shelf. I like the feel of it. In some ways, it feels like me driving like a 35-footer. It's just got that feel, that quality of the screen, holding on, you know, and you've got to remember, we're still doing 40. We're still doing 38, right? And I could go a lot faster. I'm telling you, this thing, if you wanted to be a weapon, and let's face it, if John wasn't here, I'd probably try it at about 60 and see what happened. And I think it'd handle it beautiful. Look at that. Look at this. You get caught out there on a shit day, and you're going to get home on time for Grandma's roast. I'm glad my Grandma's not with me. She'd want me to buy one of these for her. Or she'd say I'll lend it. We'll go into that wave again. I haven't touched the whole time any trim tab. I haven't even touched what it would do if I started playing around with trim. And into this wave, 42 again, and it's soft. I'm holding on to it. I haven't had to do any work, and this, I think probably at about 39, or maybe a little bit less, that those waves really poke it up, and I'd probably play with a bit of trim. So John, what do you reckon about your boat?
Very, very good.
Oh.
Phenomenal in that rough water, phenomenal.
Motor?
Oh, the elite.
Elite?
The elite of them.
And why is that? What did you think?
Oh, just the steering, the soundness, the power, just everything works for itself.
Wonderful. And now the big one. So you bought this boat off Paul McNaught. Tell us about your experience. Are you happy with the way we've treated you?
Oh, very good, very good. Answers every question I want to know. If I'm asking something a little bit out of the ordinary, goes out of his way and finds it out for me. So everything I really want to know, especially when you sort of have a bit of money wrapped up in a boat like this, you really want what you want, not just what somebody can give you, you know.
Evolution 600. It's a 6 metre boat that acts like an 8 metre boat. It's built bespoke. It's got everything that you could ever want in a blue water boat. If you want the top of the tree boat, if you want to be the envy of everyone out there, get out there and fish hard, come home safe, but you have a trophy boat, come and have a look at one of these. You know, Evolution, top of the tree bespoke boat. Only at Brisbane Yamaha, 3888 1727. We've got them in stock. And I'll see you on the water.